And we are live back with another episode of your wildest fantasy football show. Tony, how we feeling? Finally, week one, finally football tonight.
I'm excited. Um, you can ask all my coworkers, anyone who was around me today at work, quite literally screaming on the top of my lungs, "It's football season!" Yelled that to my boss. He looked down at me from his third deck balcony up there, and he just shook his head in disappointment and said, "Get back to work." But rightfully so. I understand that everyone's all excited. I was pumped, dude.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go.
it sounds like it.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah. I think everybody is just antsy to get to this point, and then after this game, I'm sure it's going to be a little bit of a tease. I think we're all going to want more after this one, but try to enjoy this one as much as we can. And it's a good game to watch. Plenty of excitement as far as fantasy goes. Tons of options on both the Rams and the Bills. So we can talk about that. We got Serial Killer already in the chat. No
Hello,
G.
sir. What's up, serial killer? How we doing, baby? Another day, another dollar.
And we'll see if we get a question in before we get into these players tonight. Should I start Michael Thomas is the question.
Wow.
I'm still hearing stuff about his health.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're to the point where I shouldn't be hearing anything about his health. He should just be healthy. It does worry me that I'm still getting notifications, even if they're like, okay, this is things are trending in the right direction. Like, there should be no trend. He should be healthy by now, I feel like.
I'm kind of there with you. I think my expectations of Michael Thomas being the wide receiver one that he was the same time that, CMC was running back one. I think those are dwindling a little bit. I have hopes, and I see a clear path that he's going to be a wide receiver too. I just think that he's going to catch a bunch of balls. I like him. I don't think you should drop him, but he's not a drop candidate. He's just a guy that you have to keep on your team, and you're just going to have to deal with some ups. You're going to have to deal with some downs,
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't drop him yet. Starting, I guess it depends on your other options. Like you said, a lot's changed in those years, unlike CMC, where he's the clear starter still, and you still have these high expectations for him. The end with Michael Thomas, right before he got hurt, he wasn't playing great. I don't think I'm worried about that as much as Olave and Jarvis coming in and Jameis, but I still had Michael Thomas in my top 30 wide receivers, and I think he'll finish in there. I feel like it's just very volatile for where he'll finish in there.
Right there with you, buddy.
RIP Queen Elizabeth. I want to say this news came out midday.
Right.
And I just immediately saw so many Queen Elizabeth jokes. And I'm like, guys, I'm not normally one to call this out.
Right.
But
I feel like you normally make the jokes.
But she let's give it a solid hour at least, maybe 2. It seemed very quickly that we were just jumping into the Queen Elizabeth jokes, and to each their own, I suppose. But it was rapid. But R.I.P. Queen Elizabeth. Yes.
Yeah, R.I.P. Queen Elizabeth. I honestly didn't know she was sick. I saw someone post, "Oh Lord, please don't take my queen," and I thought they were talking about chess. No idea she was sick. And then about 5 minutes later, just a blank screen. Skull and crossbones emojis. I was a little upset because I was like, "Oh no, they must have lost her chess game." That poor woman. But then I found out later it was the Queen of England. So That
What was this
sucks.
on, like, your
On
local
this,
news?
it was on I believe CNBC.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Hunter Renfrow, wide receiver 2. I think Hunter Renfrow, I've slept on him. He's coming up my rankings for, like, rest of season as drafts came along, and even, like, after most of my drafts. I feel like he's stepping up a little bit for me.
I think he can be your team's wide receiver 2. I don't think he'll finish as a wide receiver 2. I just don't see. Was there 3 viable pass catching options in for the Chargers last year, where Justin Herbert threw for 5,400 yards? There was really only 2, being Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. I don't think Hunter Renfrow is going to dominate like he did last year, but wide
I
receiver
guess
wide receiver 3 on the year, but if he's your team's wide receiver 2, there's definitely worse options.
the question is, where do you think it's gonna come out of? Like, where do you think those Devontae targets are gonna come out of? Is it going to be Waller or is it going to be Renfrow? And I'm kind of betting on it more so being Waller than Renfrow. Just because of how Waller's used in comparison to Renfrow.
Mm-hmm.
I see him being like a very safe guy week to week that is kind of, like you said, is probably more in, like, I feel more comfortable saying that he's a top 30 wide receiver than saying that he's a top 24 wide receiver.
Right.
So
I'm there with you though. I feel comfortable in saying top 36 end of year. I don't feel as comfortable saying he's a top 20 guy. Like, I just don't feel, because I think we could list a starter for 20 teams who we feel would finish inside the top 20.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just don't think that the third option for Derek Carr beats out the second option for Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, Tom Brady. And we don't even have an Aaron Rodgers led Green Bay Packer wide receiver in our consensus top 24. But
I'm not sure that there's a Green Bay wide receiver that might play week 1. is how it's trending now.
I mean, it's gonna be a great Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon week for sure.
It's going to be interesting. Let's run through these comments quick and then get into the game stuff.
Absolutely.
Try to make this a quick show so everybody can be settled in for game time, including me. I'm the new King of England, serial killer. As the name says, I think serial killers, fortunately, depending how you're looking at it, have had some success over there in the UK. Jack the Ripper, most notably. So I don't think
Hemingway.
It's a stretch. Is Ernest Hemingway even from the UK?
I don't know, but I said so, and we're on the internet, so it has to be true. So,
but yeah, you should be in the running, certainly. Olave is way better than Michael Thomas ever was. That's not true.
You know what? I will agree with you. Chris Olave has a much easier name to say than Michael Thomas. So in that way, he is much better. But as far as football is concerned, I don't know if Chris Olave will ever be the unanimous wide receiver 1.
I think he could be, but it's a little bit of a stretch to say that when he wasn't even the wide receiver 1 on his own team. As of now.
No, I mean like wide receiver 1 for all of fantasy football, not wide receiver 1 for the Saints. I have a hard time seeing him beating out Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase in the years to come.
We'll see. 949 is not British. Good information to know. Mm-hmm. Probably puts you on the safer side if serial killer does become King of England. Michael Thomas is terrible. With game manager Winston playing, I feel like
I don't think Winston is a game manager.
Drew Brees in the end of his career was pretty like game managery. I would
Yeah.
put him in that qualification.
What didn't Jameis Winston have a 30 for 30 season, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions? I don't think
Correct.
that's very game manager-esque. That's more Justin Fields upside, having
I
30
don't.
interceptions.
That's not true. Did you see Justin Fields' last preseason game?
I can confidently say that I take absolutely no stock in 95% of the preseason games. The only stock I really take in
I don't think you
is
take any stock.
no,
I
no.
think you
The
take
only stock I take is
5% of the stock of
in
what
Dan
Justin
Campbell.
Fields does.
No. I take the 5%, and that's only for Dan Campbell because I will run through a wall for Dan Campbell. Everyone else, I don't really pay attention to preseason except for really seeing kind of the scheme in which they're running, if that makes sense. Like how many times they're running 2 wide receiver, 3 wide receiver, 2 tight ends, fullback. That's kind of what I'm looking for, just so I get an idea of how many viable options will be at said position. But as we're going to see tonight, this is the first time that the Rams starters are playing football this year. They don't play in the preseason, so I can't really put too much stock into the player wise. I just enjoy preseason football as a way to kind of get the schemes kind of out there so you can kind of get a picture for depth analysis and all that good stuff.
Huge scheme guy. 9/49, he's game manager on the Saints. I mean, I think Drew Brees in his prime was not a game manager, but near the end of his career, I would say Jameis to him, like game manager wise. I'm not saying that the play is consistent. Obviously, Drew Brees is Drew Brees, and Jameis is great in his own way.
True. True.
But that is where I'm going to leave off because I forgot what I was saying. Hopkins is guilty or not. I imagine this is like PEDs. I have no clue.
I think the forming of your question is a little off. Do you think Hopkins is guilty and not natty? There's not a real is he guilty or not guilty. It's a guilty and not natty.
Yeah, I think I just read it the English way of like how I expect. Allen Robinson oversized. Allen Robinson probably,
I believe he size. Yeah, he might size.
Might not play week 1, but
if
yeah, I would not start any Green Bay wide receivers until we see something. Let's get into the actual game that is going to happen tonight.
Yes, go baby.
Between the Rams and the Bills.
Woo!
What team do we want to talk about first?
Let's do Rams. I like the Rams.
So Rams, obviously, we have 2 wide receivers that we expect, I would say, to perform well. 2 that were drafted probably as top 30 guys in every league, maybe even as top 24 guys in every league, in Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson. How do we expect those guys to perform tonight?
Tonight, I'll be honest. I'm not sure if they do have a great start. No one on the Rams, in typical Sean McVay sense, they don't play the preseason, but they also start the season 5-0. I just think that they might start off a little slow this year. I have a weird feeling about it. I think the Bills are my favorite to win the Super Bowl this year. I don't think that the defending Super Bowl champs win it. I don't think they get to win the Super Bowl and then come out and beat this year's Super Bowl champion potentially and the Bills. I don't think they can get both. I think it's like, do you want sprinkles or do you want whipped cream? It's like kind of one or the other, you know?
I feel like people more often than not get sprinkles and whipped cream than one or the other.
Well, not when I grew up, okay, Kondo. We weren't privy to all this expensive stuff, okay? It was either you get ice cream or you get whipped cream. There was no sprinkles and whipped cream and ice cream, okay? You don't get all 3.
Well, now you're just getting ice cream or whipped cream. You're not even getting ice cream with whipped cream. There's no sprinkles in the equation anymore.
Exactly. No sprinkles for anybody.
Yeah, I took the Rams money line in this game. Underdogs at home. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest part of it is they're at home. I like the Bills I think they are also probably my prediction for the Super Bowl and Josh Allen for MVP.
Oh yeah.
I don't think either offense performs poorly tonight. I think I have a feeling that Cooper Kupp kind of like I think this game is going to be a bit of a statement game for both teams as far as trying to show like, okay, first game of the season, everybody watching, this is our chance to show off against a really good opponent. And I expect the offenses to come out kind of chipping away. There's going to be some hiccups in there, but
Right.
I think they're going to throw the ball a lot from the Rams side. Like 949 said in the comments, Akers has some injury concerns coming into the year, as does Daryl Henderson. So not really sure how that split's going to work out either. I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with Cam Akers just
Yep.
because if you look at the playoffs, like Cam Akers was very unproductive and his usage was awesome. So I don't know that having a little bit more time, being a little bit more healthy, probably being better, he would get less usage. We will see. I still expect Henderson to work his way in, but probably more to the point of annoyance.
Right.
I could see these receivers playing really well tonight. And I think I could see a lot of guys playing well on the Bill side as well.
Yeah. I want to run through the names with you real quick, Kondo.
Sure.
And in a vacuum, I just want to know if you're going to start or sit these guys in tonight's game.
Okay.
Are you starting Matt Stafford with his elbow?
Yes.
Okay.
Depending on my other options. I know he got drafted a little bit lower, so.
Yeah, I think, what was he going as, like our QB 10, 11, right? Or was I too high?
I probably had him around that like 10 to 13 range.
Yeah, he was going at 12. I think I had him at 12 too. So I guess for 12 team league starter, I'm there with you. Cam Akers, you just said you like him. Daryl Henderson, are you starting?
I wouldn't say I like Cam Akers. I don't feel great about it. If you have better options, then I would. I avoided him in drafts for a reason. But if you have him, you're probably starting him. I don't think that you have much better options at this point. I guess if you like drafted Rashad Penny late, maybe you go that route. Like that would be a real question mark for me if I would want to go Cam Akers or Rashad Penny, because not only is it health and poor productivity at the end of last year, coming off a serious injury, we don't know how the split's going to be, but they're also playing Buffalo Bills defense that I expect to be pretty good against the run. And I'm not sure how they're going to be against the pass. So,
yeah, I have a weird suspicion. I'm kind of here with serial killer. I think Daryl Henderson, he has the potential to be Jonathan Taylor-esque in the sense that last year Jonathan Taylor had Marlon Mack to compete with. He had other people in the backfield. It wasn't like, oh, Jonathan Taylor 1.01. It was Jonathan Taylor end of the first, end of the second, whatever the hell. A long time ago, I don't remember. But I think Daryl Henderson is going to prove himself to be the starter as the weeks progress on. I love me some Daryl Henderson. I think Daryl Henderson could finish the year as a surprise top 5 running back in the league. And I'm not sure if it starts tonight, but moving forward, I'm definitely looking to try to piece myself together some Daryl Henderson shares a little bit here.
Daryl Henderson is Jonathan Taylor, is what I gathered from that.
Absolutely, baby. Alrighty. Cooper Kupp, obviously you're going to start him. Allen Robinson.
100%.
100%?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. If you took him like really late, like who else would be in that conversation, I guess would be my question.
Let me look to see where he was. He was drafted 29th, so Above him, there's Darnell Mooney and Juju. You taking either of those guys? I
That's
think
interesting.
I'd start both of those guys over him in a heartbeat.
I would not start Mooney over him. I think I
You were
would
the Justin
take
Fields
him.
lover here, and
I would think I would
that's
take him over Juju too. I like Allen Robinson a lot this year. I think people don't remember how good Robert Woods was with in that situation when it was Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. So
yeah.
we were drafting both of those guys as top 15 wide receivers
Mm-hmm.
like just a year ago. And they were living up to it.
Yeah.
So
I think the guys behind him don't really scare me. It's Amari Cooper, Michael Thomas, Hunter Renfrow, Adam Thielen, Christian Kirk, Rashad Bateman. I like those guys. I don't think it's like for me, it's not as clear cut. I think this game is going to be an outlier. Van Jefferson isn't here. Tyler Higbee doesn't exactly scare me. And the Bills, you're going to have to throw to keep up with them. So I think this game, I like Allen Robinson. Moving forward, though, I'm just a little worried. He's an older guy. Robert Woods was fantastic for him. Then OBJ came, so OBJ became fantastic for him, and Robert Woods dropped off.
Robert Woods was hurt by the time OBJ came.
Exactly. Too much pressure being a number 2 for Cooper Kupp puts a lot of
But
pressure
there was
on
times where he was the number one. Like, that's the craziest part about it. Is there Robert Woods was getting drafted ahead of Cooper Kupp.
Yeah,
and there was years when Robert Woods was outperforming Cooper Kupp. That is not something I expect to happen, obviously. That's why I have Cooper Kupp as the number 1 and Allen Robinson as my wide receiver 20, but it is certainly possible.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I like Allen Robinson for tonight's matchup. If you have him, I think you play him because it's going to be a shootout. And Cooper Kupp just started off a little slow last year, too. You got to kind of remember that. So, yeah. Last guy I'm going to go over for the Rams is Tyler Higbee. I'm not playing him. I don't think you have to. All right.
Better options out there.
Exactly. All right. We're going to move on over to the Bills. Obviously, I think everyone knows you're going to sit Josh Allen, washed up, scrub, drop him if you have him, useless, move on. For the running backs, I want to know where you're drawing the line on where you're not starting any of them, or if you're starting any of them, period.
I'm
Devin
playing Singletary.
Okay.
I'm feeling like fairly decent about it.
Okay.
Just because, like you said, I think that this is going to be a decently scoring, high scoring game. So I'm betting on Singletary getting a touchdown, getting some receptions. They said that is something that they focused on this offseason, is a little bit more of letting his receivers or letting his pass catchers work a little bit more and yards after the catch rather than kind of the deep throw offense that they have been. I like Devin Singletary a lot this year. I probably have him higher than most people. Obviously, depends how you have your team stacked up. For instance, I have him in a league where I have Dalvin, Leonard Fournette, and James Conner. I'm not starting him in that league. But if I went wide receiver there, say I took like a Mike Evans there, I may have him in my flex spot.
So Devin Singletary went as the running back 24, fringe running back 2. You're starting him over Miles Sanders.
That's an interesting one. I have him and Miles Sanders really close in my rankings. I have Miles Sanders at 23 and Devin Singletary at 24. This is for season long, not for this week.
Right. Philly is playing
the Lions.
Yeah.
That's really hard. I would not wanna make that decision.
Some people do. They have to make this kind of call.
I'm probably going with Singletary just because of the I mean, I guess it depends on the format. If you're in a standard format, I might go Miles Sanders, but if you're in half PPR or PPR, certainly, would go Devin Singletary.
Yeah, if you're in PPR, I like Devin Singletary. He is kind of like pass catching guy. I don't like either of these guys as much in half point just because I don't think either of them score a touchdown this week. Lions defense is insane. Jalen Hurts had like the most rushes inside the 5 for any position last year. And Zach Moss and the new up and comer James Cook, I think, are going to steal some of that touchdown work, goal line work from Devin. So I don't love these guys for half point, but for full point, give me some Devin Singletary. I think tonight's game, they're going to have to pass a lot. First game of the season. They're going to come out swinging. They're going to come out trying to make a statement. It's going to take a lot of pressure to cover Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis. Isaiah McKenzie is going to get some easy looks, and I think Devin Singletary is going to get some easy looks. I'm there with you. For the majority of the leagues that you have, half-point leagues, are you starting James Cook or Zach Moss
No,
this week?
not.
Okay.
I'm not rostering Zach Moss. I get the James Cook people.
Right.
I'm not as high on James Cook as most, though.
Yeah, I think I have to be there with you. Not loving it. All right, into the nitty-gritty wide receivers. Again, Stephon Diggs, drop him. We don't really need him. I don't think he's going to be a good guy. Gabe Davis and Isaiah McKenzie. I'm going to throw these guys in together. Are you starting either? If so, who? Quick little snippet of why.
Gabe Davis is like the ultimate enigma. I've seen him go in like the 9th round. I've seen him go in the 4th round. I have no clue what Gabe Davis is as a I mean, I don't know much about him as a human being, but I know even less about him from a fantasy football perspective. This is one where I will just admit I have no clue how Gabe Davis is going to do. So I can't even say whether I would play him or not because I have no clue. Like I could see him having a huge game. I could see him not doing anything.
Mhm.
Uh, I just no clue. I wouldn't start Isaiah McKenzie yet,
Mhm.
unless I was in a really dire position.
That's just some bad luck that you're having if you guys start Isaiah McKenzie this week, boys.
Yeah.
I think I'm agreeing with you wholeheartedly on Isaiah McKenzie. I think it's too early. I like him season long. I think that, especially if anything happens to Stephon or Gabe here, that he just steps up. Gabe Davis last year had one game above 20 points. One game above 20 fantasy points. I think the hype on him coming into this season was insane. He's a guy that I did not have any shares of coming out of all my drafts. He's a guy who I think is boom or bust, but it's like flipping the bust coin 10 times before you get this boom game. I just don't. He had like 4 games above 10 fantasy points last year. I just don't love that. I don't love the odds when there's 18 weeks in the season, and for 4 of them, he got you above 10. The rest of them, he didn't. 1 bye week, so 5 out of 18. 13 weeks underneath 10 fantasy points. I don't think that for your wide receiver 2 flex spot, I don't love it. But speaking out of the opposite side of my mouth here, for week 1, I do like it because it's the Rams. And I think both teams are going to have to score. They both are fantastic offenses. Bills have a much better defense, so I think the Bills are less likely to have to be into a shootout. So I like Allen Robinson over Gabe Davis this week. But I don't love Gabe Davis moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said that you hate Gabe Davis and then you like him tonight. That went a very different direction than I thought it was going to go. But I also don't think that's like, I can't judge you too much on that because That's kind of how I'm just like, I have no clue. Like
Yeah.
there's certain guys
Mhm.
where, because you can make the other argument. You could say, oh, well, they lost Emmanuel Sanders and Cole Beasley. They're two top pass catchers. We saw moments from Gabe Davis, most specifically in that uh was it AFC
Yeah, the 5 touchdown or
yeah,
3 touchdown game, whatever. Yeah.
4.
Sorry, Gabe.
No,
4.
you're fine.
My bad. My bad.
I was accepting that apology on Gabe's behalf, but
Thank you. Thank you.
I I just have no clue. Like, I feel like any answer I give is just disingenuous because I have literally no idea what Gabe Davis is going to be.
Like you said, he's an enigma. Um, I think that should be the caption of the show is Gabe Davis equals enigma, and I don't think anyone can disagree with you. Um,
He's just
so
going to do the
yeah,
opposite of what I say out of spite. I know it.
exactly. Yeah. I Dawson Knox touchdown dependent. Agree, disagree. Um,
I would agree. I mean, most in his defense,
most tight
most
ends
tight ends are.
except for Travis Kelsey, Mark Andrews, and Kyle Pitts. I think every other tight end in the league is pretty touchdown dependent. George Kittle and TJ Hawkinson and Darren Waller are iffy. Those are like the 3 guys who are kind of iffy. Besides that, everyone is. I will give you a saddening statistic for Dawson Knox. Week 2 against Miami should have been an easy dub for him. He had a touchdown in the week. Guess how many fantasy points he finished with, Gondo?
I'm going to guess.
Correct. 8.7 was the correct
Okay.
answer.
Which you'll take from a tight end, especially
I
wherever you're taking
yeah.
Dawson Knox. But yeah,
I think he went too early for my liking for a guy who is kind of.
did he?
Dawson Knox was going slightly earlier than. Wasn't he like the 4th or 5th tight end off the board?
No, he. When I saw on ESPN, he was 13.
Oh,
I had him at 11, which I think is.
oh, he's at 10 now. But all right, 106. I guess that's not bad.
I think
for
10's
that.
fine.
Yeah, I was in the league and he went in the 5th round.
Yeah,
Tight ends
that's
kind of were
nuts.
going early, and I looked at it and I said, yeah, I'm gonna get Cole Kmet in like the 7th or 8th or 9th, and I'll be happy with this if
Yeah.
tight ends are going this early.
Mhm.
I guess in the 9th round, 10th, and beginning of the 10th isn't terrible. How do you think you would do this week? Start, sit. What's your opinion?
I mean, if you want to throw him out there and hope he gets a touchdown, like, he's better than any other guy you're going to find on waivers, I would say. Like, I don't think you're getting a replacement for that if you've already fallen into that situation where you have Dawson Knox. I mean, if you have, I'll go through the list really quick. Kelsey, Andrews, Kittle, Schultz, Waller, Pitts, Ertz. Well, not Ertz. Ertz probably isn't going to play this week. Hawkinson, Goddard, Komet. Then, yeah, I would play those guys. But likelihood is you don't, because you probably drafted Dawson Knox as your number 1 tight end
Right.
and did not get those guys. So I probably wouldn't start any other replacement level players over him.
You're not starting him over Noah Fant.
I'm starting him over Noah Fant. Yeah.
Damn. I have a weird feeling about this. I more than likely will be wrong, but I'm hoping Noah Fant proves me right. I could see Noah Fant having a fantastic tight end week. New team, new Russ. That's how I'm looking at it. Russ doesn't like tight ends for Seattle. He might love him in Denver. That's all I'm saying. Get a big contract. He might play it safe, or he might go out there and just let it ride. You never know.
Wait. But he doesn't have Russ.
You're right. My bad. I'm losing my brain here, dude.
Okay.
It's been a long day. I've been up for 15 hours now.
I wasn't even sure if you were saying Russ was on his team or not. I just had to figure that out.
Right. No, sorry, I lied. It's not Russ. He lost Russ. I think Noah Fant improves without Russ.
Well, he never had Russ.
Exactly. Hey, you know what?
I think just my like dark horse tight end.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's playing this week, but if he is, Logan Thomas.
I like me some Logan Thomas. That's nice. Definitely David Njoku, I think, is going to have a monster week against Carolina. Just, you heard it here first. David Njoku not going inside your top 12, more than likely a backup to someone. Love me some David. If anyone has any fan questions.
That would be the time.
Hello, Michael. How are you, dude?
Quick hey. I kind of hope that's all he like not to be me. I kind of hope that's all he has to say just because that would be pretty funny. If it was just a quick hey, how we doing?
Aw.
And then he gets out.
Oh, wait.
But he said, oh no, we got a good how about you? Doing all right, Michael.
I mean, it's not.
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, it's not that bad of a day, honestly.
No,
I'm having a good
pretty
day.
nice.
Yeah.
Ideal starting lineup.
Oh, should we show it?
Yeah. Lazard, Kirk, or Michael Thomas. I would probably go Michael Thomas in this case, just upside wise. I think Michael Thomas is the best bet. And Alan Lazard might not play.
Yeah, I love me some Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk's fantastic, but I think you're going to kick yourself if you drafted Michael Thomas and you don't play him and he goes off. I mean, 10 slants, 7 yards each, 70 yards, 5 points. That's 12 points. Might fall into a touchdown. Who knows? I think he's going to hit double digits this week. He might even hit pay dirt first game back. I think Jameis knows that he has something special. Go Michael Thomas, then Kirk, and then Lazard. If you're starting 2, MT and Kirk.
We got our Michael question.
Yes.
Who should I start as my flex, AJ Brown or Nick Chubb? I think it depends on the format.
Is it PPR or half point, baby?
Yeah, if it's like any kind of, I would say even if it's half, I would probably go AJ Brown.
I will go Nick Chubb if it's half point. Yeah.
If it's a standard league, I would go Nick Chubb.
If it's standard or half point, I'm going Nick Chubb. If it's full point, I'm going AJ Brown. Full point, AJ Brown. Boom.
There we go. Got a consensus there.
Yeah. I like Nick Chubb, though. Don't get me wrong. If you have Nick Chubb as a flex option, you have some dangerous you have a dangerous running back core, my guy.
He does fall in full PPR a lot, probably more than he should. But
definitely more than he should. But that happens. Kondo, I do want to run through a little something with you real quick here.
Okay.
I want to try doing this every week. I want to, you and me, we the people. I don't know how to share my screen, and I don't know how to do that.
Issue.
There's
a thing on the bottom that says share. That may get you there. I'm also going to warn you.
Mm-hmm.
Your computer is typically not great under normal conditions. This may just make it burst into flames.
But I hope so, and this is going to be great. All right, we're going to try it. I want to try doing this. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And the laptop is going to fucking explode. Okay.
I will explain this while you are working, or not explain it. Try to take on an answer. I didn't pick Nick Chubb. Got Swift because the Browns QB situation, not the best. I agree. Yeah, I agree that was the right decision. What is this?
Oh, yeah. Super risky. This Kondo is what I wanted to do. I want to do one of these every week with us. I was hoping Kenny would be here to get his expertise. I want to do an 8-team parlay for the week for the boys.
Wow.
Because, Kondo, we got to put our money where our mouth is, okay? There is no other way not to do it. I figured we'd all pick 2 teams or 2 games, over under, money line, something nice and simple, Kondo. I'll let you kick it off. My idea, but I'll let you go because
I have no idea. What are we? Are we just taking like spreads?
You can do spreads, money line, or over under for the week.
I didn't even know that this was a thing.
We're doing this. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to start it off. Mm-hmm. With maybe tonight's game, and I'm gonna say, give me the Rams.
Money line straight up Rams, not the +2. I like it.
And take the
Or you
money
want the
line.
+2? Money line? Boom. I'm gonna go with the crowd favorite.
8 teams.
8 teams. We can't do 9, sadly. Otherwise, it would just be a nice, easy 3-3-3 for all the boys out here. Vikings. You know what? Serial killer for you. I'm gonna go money line Vikings. I like it.
I don't think the Vikings are a bad pick. At
I-
home. This is the fall of home dogs. Nobody's followed along with my bets so far this year. I bet a lot of road teams, college football week 1, lost a lot of those games. And I decided it's you're the home dog. So, and we got 2 of them right out the gate here.
Boom, baby. Condo, you're up on the clock here, baby.
I'm going to take another, well, not another home team. I'm going to take a road team in the Buccaneers. I have a feeling with all like the chatter of Tom Brady and whatever's going on, he's just going to like come out guns a-blazing.
Oh, he's going to absolutely light up, dude. It's going to be unreal. I got to go with my gut here, and I got to go 49ers -6.5 against the Bears. There's just no way, no possible way that the Bears even come remotely close to having a good game. Not with their current lack of a quarterback on the roster. It's actually odd that they're starting the game with only 10 men on offense. It's unreal.
I can't wait for Justin Fields to light it up. I can't wait. This is interesting. I don't love betting road teams. So, you know what? Another road team. After saying that, let's get it out of the way. Let's go Colts. I don't know that we cover. I could see us losing, but I have to at least support my team in some fashion.
The Colts. I like it.
This seems like a decent way to do it.
I like it. Colts is good. You know what? We're gonna have to let it ride with give me the Broncos, baby. Let it ride. Let it ride.
I'm between 2 here.
Mm-hmm.
I guess can be up to you. I like the Cardinals against the spread. I feel like a lot of teams are a lot of people forget how good the Cardinals were to start off the year last year and how not good Kansas City was to start off the year last year. I still think Kansas City's a very good team, but Cardinals are at home and got 6 points against them.
Yep.
I like that a lot. And then obviously Titans, they're playing the Giants, and that's about all that needs to be said there. So I'll let you choose out of those 2. What our last pick is. My last pick.
I just picked them both. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I picked the Titans, and I gave you the Cardinals +6.
Beautiful.
I'm with you. I could probably go -5 for the Titans. Oh, yeah, that's what I like. -5 for the Titans. Let's look at the card here. We got Rams. Oh, I don't know how to scroll down though. There it is. Rams straight up, Vikings straight up, Bucks straight up, 49ers -6.5, Colts straight up, Broncos straight up, Cardinals +6, and Titans -5.5. That's not a bad looking squad here.
I misheard. Yeah, sure. I mean it's 8 picks. It could lose tonight.
Yeah. 1 for 103. Boys, if we get it, Kondo and me have food for a week. I mean, PB
I don't know about that.
PB&J sandwiches for Kondo and I if we hit it. If we don't, I mean, if we don't hit it, then Kondo has to go back to living in my basement. I have to live in Kondo's basement. It's just a weird little situation that we have to overcome and conquer as a team.
Yeah, it seems on the surface like it kind of just bad idea, maybe a little bit too much work.
Boom!
But that's exactly why it works.
Yep, and we put it in, I think. Oh, change of line. Uh-oh, I don't know what happened.
I think you can just click it again,
Yeah,
maybe.
we're gonna have to just do it one more time, maybe. Please wait. Boom! Ticket. There it is, boys.
There you go.
That's what I like to see.
Well,
That I love it. I mean, that makes me happy.
good.
I want to do this every single week. I just think it's going to be a fun little exercise for us. Kind of put our money where our mouth is. You know, if we're going to go out here week in, week out and tell people to do this, do that, I think we got to put some money on the line. We got to put some skin in the game. Okay.
Sure.
I mean, you don't see Bill Belichick out here, you know, not putting the pads on. Okay. Not putting the cutoff on week in, week out. The guy's out there giving his all. I think we got to do the same thing.
Why not?
Oh, yeah, baby.
That is it for us today, I think.
Yeah. Great show.
We got 30 minutes. Go enjoy some pregame. Go make some dinner, perhaps, if you haven't eaten yet today.
Amen.
And enjoy some football. Football's back.
Football's back, baby. Woo!
Yeah. All right.
I love it.
See you guys next time.